I'm glad you said that, Razi, because I can argue from the women's perspective on that. Men say that, what you just said. Kill the baby hairs, stop with the lashes. We don't want BBLs. But then you see all the top athletes, all the top high-earning guys. What do they go and get? I used an example on this show before, how Moneybagg Yo, my favorite young rapper, Moneybagg Yo said, give me something real. I want something that's real. I don't need all that fake stuff. And then he goes dates a chick that has all the surgeries and the fake stuff.
What up, what up, what up, what up? It's Three Brothers No Sense. I am Tavares Ferguson, a.k.a. Ferg, joined with my co-host, Dr. Theresa Givens of the Bruz Bookshelf. And we have Eboni Taylor of the Houston Taylors.
Wow.
Open your eyes, Eboni. And then, we got Razi and Buff. I like this episode. We got a very special episode coming up. I'm going to let the ladies introduce themselves, and then the fellas, we're going to kind of jump into it. But today's episode is going to be a reverse battle of the sexes. We're going to take a segment that I haven't seen really before, where we're going to bring up topics that can be dividing factors or issues in our community or in just directly between men and women, but more specifically black men and women. And this time we're going to flip it. We're going to take the other person's point of view. So the brothers are going to try to defend or understand why our women may feel a certain way, and the lovely ladies we have on the show will do the same. Disclaimer, I ain't making no promises that I know what the hell I'm talking about. But at the same time, we're going to try this in hopes to kind of better understand where the other person's coming from. But we do have the option of doing a mulligan or throw a red flag in, phone a friend, whatever the case may be. Ladies, you help us out. If you need help from the fellas, we can also help. So with that being said, I'm going to start from what I see the top to the bottom. Dr. Givens, introduce yourself to the people.
Well, my name's Theresa. I'm married. I have 3 biological children and then a bunch others that I have raised over my lifetime. And I am seriously thinking about what I could do in this conversation that's going to be from the male perspective. So that's a quandary for me right here. But I'm gonna sit back here, and I know Eboni is gonna help me out, and we'll have a good time.
Miss Taylor of the Houston Taylors. Third Ward Taylors, right?
Fifth Ward,
Fifth Ward, my bad.
No, I'm Eboni Taylor. I am divorced for almost 14 years. I have 2 boys. And I am a local Houston realtor. I am the friend that people call for hard advice, not for comfort though, but for good advice. So
okay.
I am.
Are these friends men or women?
They're both. And that hotline, stay busy.
That's what's up. Razi, Buff, how goes your week so far?
The Little Mermaid and the whites, they do not like it. So I don't know if you guys saw the Little Mermaid trailer with Halle Bailey came out, and so we got us a black Ariel with some I think they're red locks, and it's down to like 200,000 dislikes on YouTube. So people are like upset about that, and so we gotta start hitting them with the old goodies. The whole I thought you didn't see color, or why you bring your race into it, those ones that they like to use on us.
Mermaids aren't real.
Yeah, that too. It's a mythical character, but they don't mind when we change stuff, or they change stuff, or they whitewash stuff, or they take a historically black character and make them white. But for some reason, when a white character, or what they see as a white character, is cast by a black person, then all hell breaks loose. So I just want to say 99 boo boo to y'all. I don't care. But so anybody who has a problem with that casting, I don't have it, man. But that's it. The other thing that I saw, I don't know if you guys saw, PNB Rock was gunned down at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. So I've been seeing a whole lot of chatter on social media about it's his girlfriend's fault or whatever, because he told her not to post, and she posted their location while they were there, and so now that set off like operational security, like this dude's the freaking military or something like that. Look, let's blame the person who actually did the shooting. How about that? Not how they found out he was there and all of that. Don't blame that woman because she wanted to post her boo or she went live or whatever, because that really has nothing to do with it when it comes down to somebody decided to take somebody else's life. So, I just want to come to her defense a little bit, and all those folks that's trying to say she's a bad girlfriend or a bad person because she posted him on social media. Again, I'm not going to say it, but y'all know what I want to say. It starts with Bill, or it rhymes with Bill yourself. So we'll just stop right there.
Look at you. You actually already taking taking the show at heart.
Yeah, there it is. So I want to defend her.
Brett Favre, it's a lot of details, so I won't get into it, but Brett Favre has been scamming the welfare recipients of Mississippi he directed $5 million to go to his daughter's high school to build a volleyball stadium, and he was paid $1.1 million for his consulting fees. And I just want to say, now that he's in scandal, there's only one thing left for him to do, baby. Run for Republican office.
Run for office. There it is. Run for office.
Yeah. Mississippi.
He's a short shot win. Yeah.
Might as well.
That's all I got.
Yeah, those welfare recipients didn't need that money. All those poors.
I mean, it's not like Mississippi has any need for any funding right now.
And the lady he was working with, he tried to say he didn't know it was welfare money. She put them text messages on blast where he's literally saying, like, the media not gonna find out about this, right? She's like, nah. So,
Ladies, anything special going on in your week? Anything you want to bring to the listeners that has you up thinking?
I mean, the Houston Texans tied the Colts in a gut-wrenching game that went into overtime. Nobody saw that. Who has a tie, in 2022? And then the Cowboys lost 19-3 to the Buccaneers. It was beautiful. Beautiful.
Wow.
Anything, Theresa? Back to you, Theresa.
No, we keep going towards football, but I'm going to stay away from the FAMU Jackson State game and the Jackson State Tennessee State game, because I don't really want to just blow my horn or whistle right now, so I'll just let it go.
Did you let it go, though? You just...
I did.
I was a little passive aggressive with it.
Passive aggressive is good.
Hey, Eb, somebody said the AFC South, nobody won a game and two of them played each other. That's terrible. It's terrible, man.
My question though about Ariel, I don't really mind her being black. Who is the prince now? Who is the prince, white or black?
I don't know. I haven't looked at the casting. I assume he's white because they haven't complained about it.
Okay, so I have a problem with that. But her being black, I don't have a problem with.
You have a problem with
the interracial dating part?
Yeah, it's like, stop. No,
like, just go all the way?
Yeah, I would like them both to be brown.
Like Princess and the Frog brown?
He's not
that
brown.
means her dad has to be brown and all.
Well, you said it's a mythical character, but I mean, if the prince is brown and Ariel is brown, I can do that. Like, I could not see with Princess Tiana, it was something about that prince really wasn't doing it for me, but everybody kept telling me that he was brown too, so I just bought it. But, hey.
I had my problems with that movie too.
I let it go.
He ain't brown.
Oh, man.
He's very nervous.
Okay, well,
I don't get the big deal. Isn't Ursula like purple in the movie? She's not like a regular color.
Yeah.
They would have had no problem if Ursula was black.
Exactly. So,
no problem at all.
Okay, that's
Great
my
casting.
positive takeaway. That Ursula's purple. We just as long as Ursula's not brown.
They would have had no problems if she was Queen Latifah or somebody like that. Put Lizzo as Ursula, and they would have been cheering.
Perfect.
They would have been cheering.
I think that you just did it.
They would have loved it.
Yeah, the remake. That's exactly what it's going to be. Somebody's going to hear it, and that's what it will be.
All right.
The Little Mermaid, the musical stage show. Boom.
There you go.
Lizzo as Ursula.
That's gonna
just in case she's offended. I didn't.
Oh, we can't talk about Lizzo.
Y'all can't.
Yeah, we did not mean to offend you, Lizzo. No, she's got some juju.
Yeah, Lizzo got like that juju.
No, we are not saying anything bad about Lizzo.
We didn't. We're
saying she can be cast. We didn't say anything bad. We just they would have had no problem with a black woman playing the villain or something, not the main character or somebody their child should idolize.
Mm-hmm.
Black people can be villains all the time. Secondary characters, whatever. Alrighty. I'm pretty sure Sophie's asleep. And we took a vote before you got on, Razi. We don't really need a joke from you today.
No, Sophie is awake and she wants to have her
let's
joke.
do it then.
All right,
let's
hold on.
Make it snappy.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's Sophie. So we have a bunch of smart people on the call today. So we're going to see if we can guess your joke. I have a feeling we're going to get it today.
Okay.
I'm ready.
What is a sprinter's favorite? What do sprinters eat before a big marathon?
I got nothing.
I got a lot of credit hours. I don't know.
Anybody?
Anybody got anything yet?
Anybody?
No.
Go for
Nothing. They fast.
I like that one. Yeah, that's a good one. That was a good one. Wow.
Got us
They're
again.
so fast.
All right, thank you, baby.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
I like that.
All right. That's a good dad joke.
I like that one. Alrighty. Let's jump into it. So you guys have been around. You've had probably debates with your male friends, husbands, brothers, me, on topics on the sexes. Anything jump out, throw a couple of things out there. I know topic I've heard a lot lately is black women don't feel protected by black men. Black men feel like they're underappreciated or attacked by black women. The conversation around family finances, any of these kind of
Men aren't men anymore.
Men aren't real men.
You're throwing them out there. And what about, since you're throwing them, it's like, what about that competition, that people say exist in a relationship?
So, okay, elaborate. There it is. Let's go there.
Let's go,
I don't know
Theresa.
what view I'm taking, so I have to be careful. I don't want to give you anything to go on.
Pose the question. What is your question?
Well, I don't know if it is a question as much as it is that it seems that men and women feel that in a relationship, they're competing with each other on all levels. I mean, in intimacy, in finances, in
children raising,
control. Yeah, everything. It seems to be, there are even songs that have been written about, statements and songs about, people competing. It's, and then who's the breadwinner? Who's the person who says what we're doing? Who's the person who's doing the children? I mean, you're competing with your mate constantly about even simple things, who can.
I just had a conversation with one of my friends. Actually, I'm kind of friends with both of them now, but they were in a relationship. And the guy seemed in constant competition with the girl, like all the time, no matter what it was. I'm going to be a better parent. She's not going to know how to do this, and I'm going to know how to do it. And just all the time, it was just a constant battle. And I remember always having to say, you're not in competition. Y'all are in a relationship. There's going to be things you are better at. There's going to be things that she's good at. And then you come together and see how both of those things work. But he went at it so hard that it just demolished the relationship completely.
The kids like be more.
Yeah, it was just silly stuff.
From what I've seen, I think the woman's point of view on that is historically, the male in a relationship is supposed to be the leader, the breadwinner. And when that changes, some men have an issue with dealing with that. And what they will do is what I've heard from women. What they'll do is try to bring her down a notch. Like try to tell her she's not as great as she thinks she is, or things like that to bring her down, because his ego can't take the fact that his woman is making more than him. He may feel like he can't, there's nothing he can give for her that she can't give for herself and things like that. And that takes away from his male ego status. What I want to say is competition can be good in a relationship. If your woman is making more than you or whatever like that, use that as motivation to strive out there and do better. You don't have to bring her down. Just say, all right, let me get out here and get on my grind even more. And you guys can be in like a healthy competition that benefits the relationship as a whole financially. The other stuff that you mentioned, Theresa, I can't really speak on, but I know on finances, that's what I've heard a lot of.
And, if it's a healthy sexual relationship, it might be a little bit of a competition between the man and the woman. Just, let's see who can make each other come first, who can do better, whatever, But I think it comes down to that whole healthy competition, right? Like, is it toxic, or it's this thing that actually brings each other down, or is it that we are kind of having a healthy competition between each other?
You're being too general. What would Theresa say if she was sitting there leading this conversation from her point of view? If Theresa and Lenny were arguing about like, why are we always competing? This is what Theresa would lead with. This is what Eboni's going to lead with. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear.
You know what I always tell my guy friends, because that is a problem with the finance. And then sometimes it's not even that she makes more. She just makes good money. She supports herself. And I think it's a lot of the times it seems like a lot of the guys feel that women, when they finally meet the woman, that she should be helpless on this island, not surviving, not knowing how to change a tire, not knowing how to take out trash. And then they feel like, oh, I don't know what you need me for, because you don't need me for anything. Well, there's a lot of things that women need you for. You know what I mean? I tell my guy friends all the time, just understand you are more than your finances. You're more than a check. Your personality has to be good. You cannot just be a provider with a terrible personality, because if she can provide as well, then you're left with nothing to bring to the table.
Right. Because you have to have more than money for currency. And exactly. I think and I'm trying to wrap my mind around the reverse. And as a man, my competition, I feel like the competition on that end may be what Buff was saying before is, the whole, it's a little bit of control. It feels like from that point of view, the male is saying, I am better than you in this, so just let me be this. But it's not working.
See, I feel like I still feel like we're taking the side of what we want. Basically, we just said men relinquish control, be okay. Nobody's taking the males. So let me try it, because this is new for all of us. So if I'm Theresa, I know,
it's really hard. It's like it's trying to come, but then it's like, girl, what you saying? No.
If I'm Theresa, I'm thinking, my first question is why? Why do you feel the need to compete with me? Do you believe that we both have things that we're better at, right? That we are stronger at? Why does me making more money make you feel inadequate? How does that make you feel?
That's more of questioning than taking the side, because we've already decided that the competition is there. The competition is happening. So what is the male view?
Well, I'm not telling what the male view.
What's the female view?
So female view, I guess, would be, I think we both have strengths and we need to leverage those. It's not a competition. If we want to succeed, we have to leverage our strengths. If my job or my earning potential is more than yours, of course, I would like you to make more money if you could. We not because I just want somebody to make more money, because that would just change our household. But I don't see a need for you to try to get on your shit all of a sudden because I got a promotion and now I make more money than you. Why does this change our relationship?
I think that's kind of, I'm sorry.
What you about to say?
No, I was going to say, I think that was kind of us taking the male's perspective. If we're trying to figure out, if we're saying, I feel as a guy, like my finances is not enough because you as the woman are financially sound. Now I feel inadequate in our relationship and I don't know what else to bring to the table. So I'm just constantly just throwing these these balls of I don't know,
contention.
Just things, just at you all the time because I personally feel inadequate and I don't know what to do in the situation. I don't know how to lead because the thing that I was taught to lead with, which is money, you got it. Even if I have it, you got it as well. So then I'm lost. So to the woman, you're saying, help me understand, if you're in a constant competition, that has to be healed. Like constant competition is never healthy. There is a sexual healthy competition. There's I love to go to the arcade with a guy I'm dating and whoop his and that basketball stuff. That's different. You know what I mean? That has nothing to do with how we're nurturing a household. You know what I mean? So as a guy, I'm asking the woman, how can I lead this household if all I was taught was finances is the way that a man leads?
So I like that. Let's do this. Let's have the conversation. We're arguing. What would your boyfriend, your husband, what would they say? And how would you respond? So Razi, like in this situation, you're Theresa. Theresa, you're Lenny. Because to me, it's still like we still are putting the man needs to change. We have not said the woman it takes two to compete, right? Like, or there's a side of you like, I'm competing with her, but she's competing with me too. Or is the woman not competing? Are you not?
I don't ever really see the women competing with the guy. I do. So this is what I do see. And I may be completely wrong and I may be being biased. But I always see, and I'm very traditional. Okay. Even though I am head of household, I am still very traditional and submissive in my relationships. But I meet the person where they're at. Yeah, but if somebody meets you somewhere constantly within a relationship that is years long, then you kind of develop this almost an anxiety response to like wanting to meet them where they're at with anxiety or with arguments or with whatever. And I see the man as the leader of the household. However he walks is how I walk. However he directs our household is how I follow. So if he's creating this anxiety-driven home with a bunch of him not feeling, because the woman I have seen, and I have personally been there, as to where my ex-husband didn't work most of the time that we were married, but I still did everything you can think of to make him feel like a man. But he would always meet me with competition. He would always meet me with battles and arguments, and I would still just do whatever I could to like lift him up. And sometimes it just doesn't work. You know what I mean? So
yeah. So I think coming from the female side of it, the lady side is saying, we keep saying it's not a competition, but I think from that perspective, a lot of what they're saying is, can I succeed and be a good person, a successful person, and still be attractive to you? Because I think that's where that competition comes from, right? It's like, I'm trying to go out and be the best in my field, make the most money that I can personally, right? Donate as much as I can for time and be a philanthropist and go out and do all these services. And I'm trying to be a good person. But when I do, you try to make it a competition, right? Or you won't let me bloom and blossom as a person because you have, issues with it, right? You feel like you become inadequate. So you want me to stay inadequate to kind of assuade you. Is that kind
leverage of power? Yes, because it becomes a leverage of power. And as a man, I see that you come into a situation, you come into a relationship, and you are using what you've been taught to use, which of course is financial. It can be a little bit of protection. And when you are in a relationship with someone who is constantly giving you those things back, then there is a leverage of power, I guess. So, and then you wonder where that power is supposed to land. And, as the man, I could see where you would continue to try to find another way. And then if you're always being met with something else, but now if you talk it through, it just sounds like a big misunderstanding.
Yeah. I'm a big communication person. Let's talk about it. I ain't going to bed with nothing on my mind and nothing on my heart. But we're going to talk this out. We're going to wake up brand new. What you want for breakfast? So.
That's the best way to be.
This episode is brought to you by Coffee Mate. After watching this season of the HBO's original series, The White Lotus, this is the tropical getaway I needed. One more pina colada, please.
Hey, you're not on mute.
Oh, I thought I was in paradise. Turns out it was my Coffee Mate. Coffee Mate Pina Colada and Thai iced coffee flavored creamers. Inspired by the newest season of HBO's original series, The White Lotus. For the love of coffee. Try now.
Eboni, you mentioned submission earlier. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's always a hot topic, especially in our community. Or do you feel like we've already hit that? But I think when you talk about the competition, that is a huge...
Submit
I've seen that happen.
That's what the Bible says.
It actually does. And I think when you look at it in the way that it's supposed to be looked at, there is absolutely no problem. Absolutely. But most men look at obey and submit in the way that we just talked about in competition. And the way that I was raised and in the biblical sense, as I was taught, it doesn't mean that at all. I mean, the submission and the
Theresa.
Obeying comes from your ability of being this person. When you're that person, people want to submit and obey you because you're doing all the things. You're like this deity, because it's talking about a person who is submitting to a higher power. You're submitting to something that is submitting to a higher power. That's easy to do. It's hard to submit and obey somebody who don't know what the hell they talking about.
Yeah, in multiple ways, Theresa.
Well, you just gave the argument for us. You just gave the woman's point of view. I need Theresa to why won't Buff submit? Buff, y'all been married for 5 years and you just won't submit. And we went to church together. We went to premarital counseling together. And it says, and we talked about this. And you said, I'm a traditional woman. I'm going to submit when we get married, all this stuff, yada, yada, yada. And you're not submitting, Buff. Theresa, talk to Buff and tell him why he need to be submitting. And Buff, tell her why she need to get her shit together. And
Buff, as me, would need to submit because I have submitted to a higher power, and the higher power that I have submitted to has given me the path that my family would be prosperous in. And you should submit to me because I've submit to the higher plan for our entire life. And everything about me is for you because I have given my love and devotion is all about you and our home. So you should submit to that system because that system is best for all of us.
Go Razi.
But Theresa, I mean, I understand you say you've submitted to that higher power and everything, but we still struggling. We can barely pay our bills. Like, I'm not feeling loved. I'm not feeling protected. I'm not feeling like you have the best interest. You might have submitted to God and God might have given you a vision. I don't see that vision. I'm not seeing it play out. I'm not seeing it blossom in our family, right? You say that the family is going to be first and all of that, and you're leading the family, but you work 70 hours a week and we barely paying the bills. We barely see you. So why am I submitting to you?
Are we not working together? It's not my responsibility to wholeheartedly carry us. It's not my responsibility to be able to do all of that. You are my helpmate. So you are helping, but I am also submitting myself back to you and this family in the way that I'm supposed to as I do what I'm doing. But if you go off and do whatever you want to do without the ability to be a team player inside of this family, we cannot be successful.
I agree, but like you said, I'm doing everything. I'm actually going to work too. I work 40 hours a week. I don't do 70, but I work 40 hours a week. I'm bringing in almost as much as you, right? Off those 40 hours a week. And I'm coming home and I'm taking care of the kids and I'm cooking dinner. I'm cleaning the house and everything while you work those extra hours. So I'm doing what God told me to do. But, and plus more, right? Because I'm bringing in money as well. So I'm being a helpmate on that side. So I don't understand why I should be submissive to you and not necessarily just that you're equal in your partner.
Because submission doesn't have anything to do with equality. We are equals.
You're just a little bit more equal because you get final say.
My final say, if I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing, has your best interest at heart, because the scripture says that I submit myself as well because I love you as Christ loved the church, which is an absolute love that no one can understand. So all of these parables kind of for both people are wrapped into each other. No one is over anyone. It's just like at work, somebody has to make the final say. We can't hem and haw over who's going to make the final say.
And it has to be you.
Unless we come up with something else.
I think what a woman would say in a shorter version to a man is, I don't mind submitting, but part of you leading this household and me submitting to you is sometimes consider what I have to say. Consider my input. It doesn't always have to be the final say with you, as Razi put it. Part of being a good leader is listening to your partner. And if your partner has a better idea, or if your last 2 or 3 ideas have failed monumentally, then maybe you need to delegate to me and see what I got to say on the situation so we can keep this relationship moving in a better direction.
Eboni, how do you respond to that? Byron basically said you didn't fuck your last 3 decisions.
You know what's weird about me? Like, I am not confrontational. If I was the guy in the role and my wife came to me and said what Buff just told me, I was like, you know what, babe? You drive a really great point. This is literally me in real life. What do you want for dinner? Because I believe in communication. Because I believe in communication, I'm not gonna butt heads. I'm gonna say that my wife Buff, in all her glory, is telling me her truth, right? I'm not going to say, well, you're wrong. You need to listen to me. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to absorb what Shim is saying to me at that time. That's just how I am. I just don't operate in back and forth. I believe in taking what my person says, sitting with it and processing and not immediately reacting. So maybe this is not the best game for me, but because a lot of things just seem so simple, you know what I mean? And so that's just, I don't know.
I'm gonna stay silent on this. I think I'm gonna just mediate. I'm just go back. Y'all,
you're not.
No, that's not fair.
Y'all, I'm gonna couple y'all off, man. We gonna switch it up.
This is hard
because I feel like we're coupling. Theresa, you this next round you married your Buff, Nick, Eboni and Razi, y'all dating. So we're gonna pair this off. Y'all arguing.
Ferg with Jesus with the magnifying glass right now.
So we talked about this. We talked about the submission now and decision making and all that stuff. What else do we? What else are some really good things that just we fight over? We just can't.
Well, you mentioned protection. I think that's a good one.
Elaborate.
Well, first off, ladies. Well, you're ladies right now. In general, do black women feel protected by black men?
It depends.
It depends. But I'm going to lean towards a no.
Okay.
It's feeling no-ish, but it depends on the guys. You know what I mean? Like, will my dad protect me? Yes. Will my brother stump somebody? Yes.
Yes.
But also, so I have a ton of gay guy friends. To look at them, they're not like gay. They're like, to look at them, you would think that they are completely heterosexual men, right? And then I have a ton of straight guy friends. Without a question of a doubt, my gay guy friends will gather someone together that they saw disrespecting me that was a guy faster than my straight guy friends. I have seen my gay guy friends, and I can handle my own. I'll come after a guy if he come after me. I'm not scared of anything. But I have had to stand my own several times throughout my lifetime with my straight guy friends. I've seen them walk away, walk off, say you're tripping, when I was not the antagonist in the situation. My gay guy friends, they're like, oh no, you're not about to argue with a woman. You're not about to get in her face. You're not about to say these things. You're not about to disrespect her, or you're going to handle. So, and they do. Well, some of them do Muay Thai. What is it called? The karate stuff?
Muay Thai.
Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Muay Thai.
Yeah. The other one worked. Like, they all, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want to get in a fight with them if I was a guy. You know what I mean? But that's why, like, I don't really have a ton of straight guys, you know. But it's not to say that it was a crowd of black men and someone was like, hey, what you got on my 40, homie, to me, that not one black guy would like come out the crowd and defend me. You know what I mean? But it would probably not be the majority of them. They probably just pull out their cameras and see what happens next.
I
am glad that you asked that, Buff, though, because we were going to have to argue the other side, but I'm glad that you did ask, because that is something that I've thought about. And to hear Eboni say that, now my wheels are turning, because I feel the same way about, my gay friends. They seem to be more in tune with what I'm thinking or what I'm going through, and their level of concern is more peaked, and I guess they're paying more attention, which would kind of help me to segue into the perspective that I've had to learn, in that some men, because like you said, not my son, because my son is always on 10 for me, but some men don't see it. And I've had to learn that you can only do what you see. And you have to recognize that someone is being disrespected or that they feel disrespected to defend that. So I've had to find myself in situations and say, hey, I feel offended. I feel like you should do something. And I've been met with a little bit of what? Huh? Well, but until they can understand that that's what's going on, I can't protect something that I don't know is something that's, I don't know. If I don't know what's going on, if I'm off in la la land because I'm only into what I'm into at the moment, I can't protect it.
I don't want to lead this conversation. I don't want to lead y'all to where I want to go. I might save this for later. I want to see where you go. So you want to do a scenario on this one, or do you want to just say,
I think Eb has something, and then we can.
I was going to talk about the contrast, but we're probably not even there yet.
Because at the same time, we hear black women don't feel protected, but do black men feel a certain way about this topic? As far as fellas, we're always being attacked because anything that we can't even have an opinion of black women. Like it's if it's not good, you can't say it. Right. So, Theresa, you look, we literally.
Yeah, because I, as a woman right now, I don't feel that way.
We literally made a post about that. Can black men have opinions on women? It's like, if you don't got nothing good to say, then you keep it. Like it's nothing. Like it's, if we're.
But that's men in general, though.
So, okay, maybe all men can't have opinion on women. But you can see.
I feel that you can. I think it just depends on what we're talking about.
Well, yeah.
What are some? I don't know. What are some things that we're saying? That we have attitudes, or we don't know how to. What are we saying that we don't agree with you having an opinion on?
I think, I don't want to speak for Ferg, but I feel like some black women may. I think correct me if I'm wrong, Ferg. You may correct me if I'm wrong, but some black women have unrealistic expectations when it comes to dating. Is that
so? That's a good example.
Areas? Okay.
Yeah, that's a good example.
Okay, so is that something that you're saying that we don't want to hear your opinion about? I don't, because honestly, I feel like women from the beginning of time have spent their entire being trying to satisfy some man. The way we dress, the way we, the way we shape ourselves. Women can tell you all day, I went and got my boobs done for myself. Lies.
But if a man says, hey, we don't need it.
I'm glad you said it.
If we say that, if we say, hey, we don't need all that, well, we're not getting it done for you. And then it becomes, men always think that a woman's doing this for them and all. It's like, you know what? I'm telling you, we don't care. And then it becomes, that's y'all problem now. Y'all always thinking somebody, and it's like, we can't do it.
Can I say something? This line?
See,
there's this imaginary line there, but we're also talking about women as if we're all monolithic. We're all the same. There's a bunch of crazies, and then there's normal here. So I think I'm normal. I hope I'm normal.
I'm just saying.
I've been basing all of this on normal stuff. We don't mind having these conversations and trying to better ourselves and better our relationships. And we value your opinion, because if we didn't, we wouldn't be out here looking at all this stuff, trying to draw men in a way that we have for centuries.
If I'll put it this way. And
I'm letting y'all know, stop putting on them lashes, because it ain't drawing no men in.
But then we ain't doing it for you. My man,
I'm glad you said that, Razi, because I can argue from the women's perspective on that. Men say that, what you just said. Kill the baby hairs, stop with the lashes. We don't want BBLs.
Don't do the BBLs.
But then you see all the top athletes, all the top high earning guys. What do they go and get? I used an example on this show before, how Moneybagg Yo, my favorite young rapper, Moneybagg Yo said, give me something real. I want something that's real. I don't need all that fake stuff. And then he goes dates a chick that has all the surgeries and the fake stuff. So men say that. I don't know if he ain't ready to get married. But she
has a wavy booty.
And even if she didn't get married, she still got a chance to enjoy that lifestyle for however long they were together. So men say one thing, but they're doing another thing. So just like we're calling women out on them lying about the real reason why they do these things, are men lying when they say what they're really attracted to? Because a lot of men, I mean, the women with the BBLs get the 6-figure likes on Instagram.
For what did you call it? They just got smash zone, though. I mean, that's the thing. So ladies have the friend zone. Guys had a smash zone, and you just got put in the smash zone.
I mean,
I am going to beg to differ on that, because that smash zone, exactly, that smash zone has expanded.
Surgical looks.
And maybe when I was younger, that's what happened. Men went through women. Those were the plateaus, and then they settled down. That's what, the way I was raised. They do men, but they settled down with a nice lady. Well, they're marrying strippers, is what they're doing. There was a point I was like, they're winning. The strippers was winning. I blame Atlanta and Atlanta rappers, because they just blew up. Everybody wanted one.
You're talking about Atlanta and small. That's not the norm.
But you also can't just look at.
Wait. No, they infiltrated the entire. You have people everywhere, and then T-Pain. I'm in love with all of that. All of that, and it became normalized.
And you also can't just look at marriage. It affects women's self-esteem. So when a woman posts her natural picture and it's like, she need to tone them legs up. Man, look at her gut.
That's what I'm over here holding in right there. The natural reject,
right? So not even just on the surgeries, but just Photoshop in general. I can't remember who it was.
If $10,000 fell in my lap, I would definitely take 5 and go to Dr. Curves or somebody and do a mommy makeover. I think 5 is probably not even enough, but I would definitely do a mommy makeover. Definitely.
Okay.
Sometimes at a healthy level, a lot of the stuff that the women get at a healthy level,
I can respect that,
is for herself, for her to look, her clothes to fit better, especially boobs. She can't go into the gym and be like, I'm about to lift these boobies and get. It's not that. That's not how breasts come in, But a lot of the times, it's outside of that. It's normally because of male influence. My issue is normally with guys. So I'll get guys. I post my workouts a lot. And I don't just talk bad about the Cowboys all day long. And so I'll get guys who will be like, don't lose too much. For people I've never met in my entire life.
Unsolicited
people opinions. I know casually, people at my gym. Don't lose too much. Why do you feel like you have this opinion about my body? The natural girl takeover that has been interized over the last about 15 years, I guess it's been pretty strong. God, our black men gave us so much shit about our hair that it was like to a point we were just ashamed. I've become like just super defensive off the rap. Like if a guy says anything about my hair that is not welcoming at all or unsolicited comment about my hair, I get super defensive. Because it brings back like pre-trauma situations from like old relationships and stuff like that. But I get a lot of black men who hair the same texture or coarser than mine talking negatively about black women's hair. You know what I mean? And our hair is us, and I don't think the black men understood because they've always seen themselves. A lot of us black women had just started seeing what we actually fully looked like without the perm at that time. This was our first time really just looking at ourselves. And that's very daunting because you're like, oh my gosh, okay, so my hair didn't grow in like the Native American people my great grandma told me that was inside of my family. You know what I mean? And so at the same time, you're having these men who you are sexually attracted to, who you want to be sexually attracted to you, saying, I like everything about you, but do something with that hair. You know what I mean? When you've done something with the hair, because y'all about to walk out the door, it's like, I like everything about you, but do something with that hair. Or
which
you
goes right back to what they said, what we were saying before. It's, you know, we want this natural, we want this, we want that, but everything that you show is something else. Because all of the women on television that you're like, oh, she's so fine. Oh, she's so fine. You know, that doesn't equate to it. And then you go and do exactly what the girl did. And now it's why you do that. It doesn't make sense.
But I think if we're going to go down that route, both sexes do it. I mean, we talk about, and especially in dating, women just want a guy who just treats them right, yada, yada, yada. But if he don't got a lot of money, like, you can be the perfect guy, he broke. Like, are you broke because you are lazy, or are you broke because no? But your definition of broke
just hasn't come in.
Your definition of broke, because once again we're talking about the BBLers and all these people who you got to take them on these $300, $400 first dates and stuff like that. If he can't afford her, because this is the same group of women.
Those are not real people, Fergs.
Yeah, these are the crazies.
Those are not real people.
Y'all imitating. These are the ones that are imitating.
That is one issue I talk to my male guy friends about, because they're always like, all you women want is a rich guy to spend a bunch of money on. And I'm like, well, you keep dating bottle waitresses and bartenders, then of course that's all they want.
Nothing against bottle waitresses or bartenders. I mean? Just in case.
Nothing against them. But if you're dating women who are in a beauty-driven industry, they make a lot of those bottle waitresses and bartenders are college students. At the moment, though, college don't pay bills. College take from your bills. So at that moment, they're very pretty girls in very little clothes, and they're probably got all the Instagram followers or want that or whatever the case may be. And that was you set forth to go choose that. Nobody forced you to go get that type of woman. You was like, this woman looks like the type of woman that I follow on Instagram. I have a shot with her. I want to woo her with my stuff. I'm a fisherman, so I'm going to use my fisherman phrase. You catch the fish, you catch the certain type of fish with the bait you use. If you lead with money, you can't be expecting to go get a Dr. Theresa, you know what I mean? Or Eboni all the time. You know what I mean? Now we want you to be financially healthy. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, I need y'all to argue from the male's point of view, though. Because
that women's one is strong.
I knew it. You know what? Let's go to your side. You tell us from the female perspective then. Because we gave you a lot.
So we still on looks or we on money? Because we kind of...
I don't even know where we at.
Combine the two.
They were too. They together.
Well, I kind of spoke on the looks thing. The point of view of women when it comes to men complaining about women all they want is money. Well, that's what you lead with a lot of times. A lot of times men with money lead with the fact that they have money, and God forbid a woman, declines their advances. One of the first things they say is, "Oh, you don't know what you missed out on. I could have got you this. I could have got you that. But now go ahead and get you some broke N-word or something like that." So men will complain about women wanting them for money when that's what they lead with. They make sure you see them in the new AMG Benz or the new M Series BMW. They make sure you see them buying the bottles at the club. So how can you attract something with one thing and then get mad when that's what that thing wants? That's my woman argument.
Theresa, talk to your husband.
Some of these arguments it's just funny because even though, we're trying very hard to look at the other person's perspective, biologically, we have these feelings, and
because I want to argue against my own arguments that I just made.
I know.
I got a rebuttal for
you exactly, and we're sitting here, and I'm thinking about nature, and you were talking about the big cars, and we just read a book, and we were talking about in nature how
you read a book of what?
Even animals do this. Animals
peacocking.
do this. Animals.
Yeah, it's called peacocking.
Yeah. They want to, they flash themselves or whatever it is to attract their mate. And a lot of times it is the male. It's the male who is, showing that they can be a provider. They can be a good lover. These are all things that are happening in nature. So humans are not exempt from that. It's just that humans are supposed to have a brain to kind of wade through this and figure out what we're supposed to be doing. But it seems like, we get lost too. We're getting lost in the eyelashes that Roz is like, don't ever put those on ever again. And I get it. Some of them look like butterflies sitting on people's faces.
Snuffleupagus.
Yes, I said that, snuffleupagus. But everybody is attracted to something different, I guess. And if I was taking the male's perspective and I'm doing all of this flashing, I'm going to get what I get. So we talked about, when you're fishing. So if I'm fishing and I go into this pond where there's only these certain type of fish.
Spot fish.
What kind of fish am I getting?
Spot
so
fish.
I have to, as a man, I guess, just look at myself and say, where am I fishing? So and what do I want to get out of this? And if I do catch the wrong fish, we got to go to counseling or something. Or I got to throw that fish back. So
that's not really a male point of view.
Let me take a step.
Guys ain't thinking like that.
Let me take a step back. We're talking about the extremes, but most relationships don't work, right? Like, it's just 50% of marriages don't work. Dating, dating doesn't work. Women, even the ones that like, I'm a good chick, I'm a catch, still attract a lot of trash ass dudes, and vice versa. I'm a catch, but I still attract all these trash women. Why? We're trying to make it easy, like, well, if you're just leading with money, but there's a dating game that we're not mastering. It's still, every time a relationship doesn't work, we're actually practicing, we're practicing divorce, really. We date for a little while, doesn't work, I'm gone. Date for a little while, I'm gone. We just keep dipping. So why is there a struggle? Like, why are the good women and the good men not being able to find? That was a good episode. Y'all had fun. Theresa, I'll be at your house one day.
I'm tired.
Do I still get to come by the house still?
Oh, sure. Okay. Hey, it is what it is. You just have to hang out with your friend.
Is he mad? He's still pouting?
I don't even know where he is.
He gonna ask about the show.
Of course.
Appreciate you guys coming. Let's go ahead and close it out. Ladies first. Would you like to leave with anything you want to get off your chest? Anything you took from the conversation? Any shout outs? Anything? Including
shout out to the Omega Lamplighters Houston chapter.
We're doing fundraisers soon.
There you
go. We always do a fundraiser.
You'll definitely have to send it to us. We would love to support.
Appreciate it.
Bruz
Bookshelf.
I mean, to the Bruz Bookshelf, and of course my lovely family who gives me all of this stuff to talk about. I mean, it's never a dull moment at 5666. It's all love over here.
Okay. Thank you for
my definite takeaway. My takeaway from this conversation tonight, though, is to have great communication. Eboni was excellent in all of her points, and they all boil down to communication. And then if we can work on our expectations, we'll all be happy for the rest of our days.
And if you can't communicate, just let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
I got to work on letting it go, though. I'm a little petty.
Just walk away from it.
Yeah.
Put it on this here bookshelf and walk away.
I gotta pray on that thing now.
It takes practice.
Right.
But you have to have a willing partner to want to practice with you.
Yep. Well, ladies, really, I just want to say thank you for joining us. It was a fun episode. I actually learned a lot. And the bros know I put my foot in my mouth all the time. So this actually sounded like what my talks or discussions in relationships really sound like, because a lot of times I come with the best intentions, but what comes out of my mouth just doesn't align to what my intentions were. So
I'm married to one of those.
Yeah. So we appreciate it. Thank you all for coming.
You're welcome.
We'll have to have you back at some point so we can continue this, because it was a great discussion. So that's all I got, man.
Buff, what you got for us?
Echo what Razi said. I definitely appreciate Theresa being on again, and finally somewhat meeting Eb. She's had some great comments in the past on a lot of our posts that I chuckle at. I wish we had have gotten to why women think men aren't men anymore and what the hell that even means, but maybe we'll revisit that one day. I'm gonna leave with some political again, and I'm not gonna take sides. Y'all know where I work at, but I am gonna say that Supreme Court came down with the ruling on abortion. Republicans said, "Hey, we wanted to be a state-by-state decision," and now they're trying to come out with a federal ban. So they went from we'll leave it up to the states to we're gonna do a federal ban on abortions after 15 weeks. So that's interesting to me that they say one thing and then say another later. That's interesting, but I'm not taking sides.
That's America.
Well, I'll make it quick. Thank you guys for coming out. I really appreciate it. Especially you, Theresa, and Buff, because you guys are on the East Coast and it is extremely late. So thank you guys for giving us this time. Eboni, I know I got back to you last minute, so thank you. Razi, just keep being you. For all of the listeners, this is going to be a 2-part show, so you will be able to catch us this week and next week on any of your streaming services that you catch your regular podcast on. And for our Inspire You on air, the new Beat of the Bay listeners, you'll hear the second part of this episode in the upcoming weeks. So stay tuned. Look forward to you hearing it. Give us your feedback. Remember the 6 rules of podcast: listen, like, share, subscribe, comment, and most importantly, listen again. Talk to you the week after next.